The first 10 years in business, man, we fucking made 58 grand each. I could fucking prove it. Year 1 through 3, $0, okay? 3 through 10, $695 a month. That's truly how we did it. And then when I say that, people are like, well, how the fuck did you survive? Well, motherfucker, I worked other jobs to keep my business open. That doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
You know, but look where we are now. And one of the things I see that people do the most when it comes to financial success is this mentality of pointing at the anomaly as if it's the actual truth is a terrible disease that infects people.
Absolutely.
They look at, you know, the one situation where, oh, that guy did everything right and his life still sucked. And then what they do that to justify their own lack of action and their own thoughts and their own drive and their own unwillingness to do the actual work, right? So, because if they admitted that, okay, that's an anomaly, that means they have to admit that the reason they are where they are is just because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, right, which is a painful thing to do.
We had nowhere to live. We didn't have anything. We had to live in the store. We had a couch that we got from my dad, which was a love seat. And then we had a mattress that we got from a Salvation Army that was in the same center, a Salvation Army retail store. Our first day, we sold $7.
Yeah, $7.
Our second day, we sold $0. Our third day, we sold $22. And it went like that for literally years, where we would have days of no sales. We didn't have money to advertise, so the only way we could get people in was literally one at a time, and then help create the word of mouth off of those one-off transactions.
Like, did you make any money the first year?
Oh, no. We worked other jobs, so we both bartended at night and worked security at bars at night. Whoa. And then worked at gyms. So we worked other jobs, so one of us would work at the store, and the other one would go work at the other job and this and that, and then we kind of just pulled the money. In that time, I literally had 0 options. I didn't have a degree, which, you know, I feel is less important now for people.
Me too.
Yeah, it's less important now. But 15, 20 years ago, it was still a big deal. So I didn't have a degree. I didn't have any place to go work. You know, I didn't have a backup plan. I had to make it work, or otherwise I was going to be digging ditches. I didn't want to dig ditches. Nobody's going to believe in you until you've done something.
That's right.
Have you done anything to make people believe in you? Right. You know, you don't just get people to believe in you. You got to do shit. College, like we said, we had to work other jobs while and we were also going to school, by the way. I did all this, but I was walking home from one of my jobs, and I was walking home with a girl that I was good friends with, and I ended up getting stabbed. Is the long story, the short story of it. I got an altercation. This dude, she was Mexican, and this guy was calling her some racial slurs, and we got in an argument. And I turned my back, and when I turned my back, he stabbed me, and he stabbed me here, and he stabbed me here, and in my back, and I had 160 stitches in my face. Still no feeling in this side of my face at all. The last thing I remember on the way to the hospital was the EMT on the radio saying, I don't know how to stop the bleeding.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna die for sure. Because like, it was like what you see in the movie, like blood was squirting out. The younger generation, a lot of the people watching right now are not taught the truth. They're taught that everybody wins, everybody's special, everybody, you know, is probably gonna end up being a multimillionaire, everybody loves you. And that's not the truth. They get taught this thing. I mean, they don't even keep score now in kids' games. They get taught this thing up until they're 20 years old, and then they're kicked out in the real world. And then what happens? The real world stomps them. What are we taught? We're taught this: go to school, get a degree, get a job, and you know, and eventually you'll have enough money to retire, which you won't, by the way.
Not, right?
And you know, they don't tell you that you're going to be in debt your whole life, and they don't. The real truth is this: go to school, get a degree, get a job, get yourself in debt, so that you're required to work for somebody. Your whole life.
That's right.
You have to work. That the system is designed to squeeze the juice out of it.
Here's what your life is likely to be. You're going to come out here with a couple $100,000 in debt. You're going to up at 50 years old. You're not going to have $50,000 saved. You're going to be in debt and divorced at least once. That's literally the program you're on, right? And it's like someone ought to tell you that up front. So when you sign up for it, I'd rather sign up for the program where I go through 4, 5, 10 years of struggle as an entrepreneur, and on the other side, I'm in my man cave like this and helping other people.
Look, people think this is wrong, but it's not wrong. It's right. I want to wipe the fucking earth of my competition. I want their houses to burn down. I want them to do 0 sales. I want to win. And not just win, but dominate. And when I say that, do I literally want their houses to burn down? Of course not. But that's a metaphor for how bad I want to win.
What kind of revenue, sales, all that stuff this year? You guys do?
This year we should be about 170.
170 million.
Yeah. That's
170 million.
That's both companies together. Yeah, that's S2 and First Form.
Okay, 170 million.
Yeah.
And then what do you think, or you have goals in the next 3, 4, 5 years, take that to $1 billion?
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is a B.
Is a B.
I'm over the M's. Like I told you, man, I struggle with depression. So depression's something that I've battled my whole adult life. I go through phases, and those phases last for years. Okay, I go for 2 or 3 years, I'd be great. I go for 2 or 3 years, and I'm a total wreck. And when I'm a total wreck, I eat everything in my face, I drink everything. You know, I'm having a good time in my mind, but I'm not accounting for the problems that it's causing. And I had got myself up to about 350 pounds. And dude, yeah, I just looked in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, you're fat, you know? And you can't be fat in my business and be effective.
Good point.
I used to think like a lot of younger people think, and maybe some people in business, I used to think like this. Man, I wonder if I'm gonna ever be one of those successful guys. Like, did you ever think like this when you were broke? Did you ever think like, man, I wonder if I'm ever gonna be like fortunate enough to be one of these guys who has this house and this life and this and that? Like, there was always a question of doubt in my brain.
I still have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I still have
All
it
right.
sometimes.
So I think I just accepted that there's no like validity to that at all. It's just total mind bullshit that your brain does. And I started to realize that it's just as simple as executing on a daily basis. And when I started to believe that, and the doubt went away, I think that made me A, more confident, B, it works, and I don't feel like I'm a freak of any. You know, I'm just highly competitive, and I know how to win. I know that if I'm doing effective things on a daily basis, those effective things compound over the course of time. I have this little method called the power list. And basically what it is it's 5 critical tasks. So for a while on Instagram, we used to always see these memes, okay? And it would be like, you know, I only sleep 1 hour a day, and that's what you got to do to be successful. And that's bullshit, okay? I am, and this is going to sound really weird, but I'm actually really fucking lazy.
Me too.
Okay?
So am I.
Yeah, so like I just find ways to be effective.
Me too.
So my goal was to do as much good stuff in a day and then have the rest of the day to myself. Okay? So I figured out that if I could execute on 5 tasks, not the basic things, not like, oh, I got to work out, but all right, the things that are extra than that, okay? I've got to make this call. I've got to send that email. I've got to follow up with this. I've got to do that. Once those 5 things are done, I'm done for the day.
Gotcha.
So if I can get all 5 of my things done before 10 a.m., I got the whole day to do whatever I want.
Okay.
All right? And the rule of the power list is this. It's got to be 5 critical tasks, all right? Those critical tasks have to be something that are not a habit for you. So let's say your goal is to work out and eat right, and you're not currently doing it. That can be on your power list for up to 21 days. Okay, after it's been on your power list for 21 days and you've won the 21 days in a row, you have to remove it and replace it with 2 other things.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, yeah, so your list is always progressing. It is literally a fail-safe way to be successful